Mobile games don't exactly have a great reputation. There are good mobile games, but a lot of them are low effort slot men make as much money as possible. Most slot games have a lot of ads, loot boxes, and boring repetitive gameplay, because well, making good games simply takes too much time, and money needs to be made as fast as possible. I've been interested in bad mobile games for a while because I think that they're interesting and also pretty funny. So in this video, I'm taking a look at 5 bad mobile games, starting with
Choo Choo Charles.
Oh boy, a GartenofBanBan mobile game. This is just what I've been waiting for. According to the game description, you have to punch your way through BanBan's iconic kindergarten while playing with all the characters. That's right, every single member of the Ban Gang is here, even the ones from GartenofBanBan 7. So the goal of the game is to punch 2 of a certain object before your time runs out and Jumbo Josh kills you. Also, you can find some coins, and once you get 50 coins, you can use the claw machine to get a new character. However, once you destroy the objects you need to in the room you are in, the coins there disappear, meaning that you have to be fast to get the coins. Honestly, it's probably the best game I'm going to talk about, and a GartenofBanBan game being the best thing I'm going to talk about isn't exactly a good sign. I think the gameplay itself is kind of boring and repetitive after a while. You just destroy 2 things in a room, and then repeat that over and over again until you die. At one point, I came across Zolphius, but then I died, so yeah, I don't know what he does. Also, the game feels kind of empty, probably because it takes place in the void. I actually think that Punchrush has some nice visuals. The Ban Gang are all made of blocks like the hit game Minecraft. I like how the characters look in this art style. I don't know much about game development, but I'm pretty sure that the Euphoric brothers could have just copy and pasted the models from the actual games pretty easily and called it a day. But I think it's cool they remade all the characters in this art style. I had some trouble with the controls when I first started this game because I thought you had to swipe on BanBan, but no, I was supposed to swipe at the top of the screen. How dumb do I have to be to not understand the controls of a GartenofBanBan game? Anyways, I eventually got 50 coins and used a claw machine. The character I got was Brown Fiddles, which was lame. I wanted Tariff's Toadster. GartenofBanBan Punchrush is pretty boring and repetitive, but at least the game looks kind of nice, void aside. The same cannot be said about the next game. AngryBirds. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. I'm of course talking about the mighty eagle. AngryBirds is probably the most recognizable mobile game franchise of all time. There's a bunch of games, arcade games, epic merchandise, and 2 high-quality films with a 3rd one on the way. But to be honest, AngryBirds has, for lack of a better term, fallen off. Most of the new AngryBirds games are just generic mobile game slop because I guess Rovio realized that kids would play anything as long as the AngryBirds were there. Also, for some reason, Rovio has been deleting old games, and I honestly have no idea why they would do that. The game I decided to play for this video is AngryBirds Match 3. I picked this one over the other AngryBirds slop games because this game is rated 12 and up for frequent/intense horror themes. Okay, so the game description says nothing about this being a horror game. In fact, it says that this game will be very cute, so I guess this game will be like FNAF 6, to represent itself as a normal game, only for it to turn out to be dark and twisted.
Congratulations! You've completed a full week on the job, and you've done it in such a lackluster way that no one is proud or disappointed.
Never mind, this is a normal match 3 game. I'm not sure why. I see a lot of slop games do this a lot, where the game is rated 12 and up for extreme violence, extreme nudity, and extreme horror, only for the game to look like this. It's true that AngryBirds did this though, but I don't know, maybe some Rovio employee got bored and thought it'd be really funny. Anyways, I have no idea what this game is about. It starts with a cutscene of a hatchling walking, and then he finds some cake, but oh no, then the pigs attack! Thankfully, they get killed by the AngryBirds. And then the game starts. Okay. Red shows up and explains how to play the game, and the render used here is from the movie because I guess Rovio was too lazy to make a new one for this game. Anyways, in AngryBirds Match 3, you have to match 3 of a certain object. So it's kind of like Candy Crush Saga, or Candy Crush Soda Saga, or Candy Crush Jelly Saga, or Candy Crush. You can get the iconic AngryBirds Red, Chuck, and Bomb to show up, and they'll destroy objects for you. Pigs will show up as well, and you can't move objects in their direction if they are right next to them. Also, there's a hub area, and by completing levels, and new hatchings show up, and you can customize them. So cool, I guess. There's an energy system because mobile games hate it when people actually play their games unless they have some money to spare and buy some energy. This game looks pretty ugly as well. Everything looks so fake and generic, and I don't like it. I really don't have much else to say about this game. It's a match 3. The gameplay isn't exactly convoluted or groundbreaking. I find it weird how the AngryBirds franchise went from making some really good games with unique gameplay to making boring and original puzzle games. Whatever, I guess it could be worse. There could be an AngryBirds version of those crappy mobile game ads where a character has to run through something in order to get some people on their team. Speaking of which, Oh yeah, Count Masters Crowd Runner 3D. I'm really glad they put the 3D there. I was convinced this was a 2D game. Okay, before I talk about the gameplay, I need to read part of the description because it is full of lies. Count Masters is one of the most exciting Clash games of all times. That's a lie and also isn't grammatically correct. It should be games of all time, not games of all times. You start the battle alone, but trust us, there are no chances for you to feel lonely. That's a lie. I'm in my room playing Count Masters Crowd Runner 3D instead of going outside. It does not get more lonely than that. This city takeover game features fascinating graphics and simple mechanics. The simple mechanics part is true, but this is not a city takeover game, and the graphics are the furthest distinct from fascinating. Count Masters full of gang fight and stickman battles. Get ready to spend hours playing one of the most thrilling running games. We promise you won't get bored. I played this game for 10 minutes and got bored. Anyways, the game is pretty much what I described at the end of the Angry Birds section. You start with one guy and you have to run through the correct thing in order to get more people and beat the enemy. That's it. And you also upgrade how many people you start with and how much money you make. However, at one point I needed to watch an ad in order to keep upgrading, which was stupid and dumb. Speaking of ads, this is the first game here with force ads, and they sure got annoying. Pretty much every single level was an ad for a game called Block Blast. So not only was I annoyed by the ads, but also annoyed that I kept getting ads for the same game. Oh, and there's an ad at the bottom of the screen as well, which is awesome. There's skins and I was about to get one, but then I had to watch an ad to claim it, so I decided not to. But then I got an ad anyways. It wasn't a Block Blast ad though, so you know what, it's fine. It's just such a nothing game. The art style is the same as 99% of these slot mobile games. The gameplay is not only mindless and boring, but also the same as many other games, and the ads for Block Blast were super annoying. In fact, they were so annoying that they got me to play the game. In Block Blast, you have to drag blocks to somewhere on the screen in order to complete a line. Delete blocks and get points. If you run out of space, you lose. That's the game. There's this other mode where you have to make things fall into a line, as well as an adventure mode, but I don't care, this game is still lame. It has a 4.9. Sneaky Sasquatch is a 4.9. This is like a 2.5. There's a game like this called Block Puzzle, which I downloaded because everyone else in my family did and wanted to prove that I was the ultimate gamer, and I think that Block Puzzle is a better game than Block Blast. I mean, they're both not that fun, but I don't know, I prefer Block Puzzle's art style. There's even more games like this, but as far as I'm aware, Block Puzzle was the first one, as it was made in 2019, and the other games don't even say when they were made, except Block Blast, which was made in 2022. Whatever, I just wanted to talk about this because I was sick of the ads, so now it's time to move on to the final game. RaidShadowLegends is probably the most infamous mobile game out there because there was a time when every YouTuber was getting sponsored by these guys. I'm not sure why. Pretty much everyone in the comment section of videos sponsored by Raid are making fun of the game, but okay. I don't really see Raid sponsorships nowadays because, I don't know, I guess they were replaced by a Temu or something. But I don't know, I thought I'd talk about the game because it's a sponsored product and these things suck 9 times out of 10. The game starts with an epic tutorial that has Marvel level dialogue and all the characters hate each other, which is my favorite trope. But oh no, then Donkey's wife shows up.
Was that the bite of 87?
I was so close to bursting out laughing when this happened. So the team fails to kill Donkey's wife, and then someone called the Arbiter shows up. She's pretty much a tutorial character like Helpy from Ruin, with the main difference being that I actually like Helpy. The Arbiter says that I can pick one of the fallen champions to join my team. Why aren't they called legends? I picked Gallic because why not? And then the Arbiter yapped a bit more. Once she finished, it was time to start chapter 1 of the story. The gameplay of RaidShadowLegends has you pick a move and then tap on an enemy. That's it. Some moves have cooldowns though, and that adds some strategy to the game. There's an autoplay button, and I'm sorry, but if a game has an autoplay button, then it's probably because the gameplay isn't very fun or engaging. And yeah, Raid's gameplay is pretty mindless. Prodigy math game has more thought I put into the gameplay than this thing does. There's a 2x speed button, which I actually do like, but you know, it doesn't really make the game much more fun. Also, there's an energy system like the Angry Birds game, cause that's awesome. Anyways, I finished the first chapter of the story, and I bring it up because the end cutscene at the end mentions the mysterious company. Is that a Lethal Company reference? You can get rewards by inviting your friends to play the game. And I'm sorry, but I've asked my friends to play RaidShadowLegends. I do not think they'd be my friends anymore. Much as all the other games except Punchrush, this game looks ugly. I have no idea why mobile games try to have realistic graphics because it almost never looks good. There's items you can get to upgrade your champions. You can also do some gambling to get a new champion, so that's great. RaidShadowLegends is pretty boring and bad. The only good thing about the game is Gallic. There's a lot more doing this game, but I didn't do anything other than the story because I didn't want to. I guess the other stuff could be fun, but my main problem with Raid is the gameplay, and I doubt the other modes completely revamp it. In conclusion, how in the world is the GartenofBanBan game the best thing here? These games were all pretty bad, and a lot of mobile games are like these, but I don't know, I don't think mobile gaming is terrible or anything. There's still plenty of good games to play on your phone. If you guys know any more bad mobile games, feel free to mention them in the comments. I'd love to make a part 2 of this video because I had fun working on it. Now if you'll excuse me, I need to go play Angry Birds Star Wars. Bye I guess.